Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hamster's Hobby Hang.
Welcome to Hamster's Hobby.
Another special one for you guys. We are working on the player character minis that will be featured in the live play it game stream tomorrow.
That's right, fellas.
I will say. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say today Tyler and I were impersonating your hello everyone, welcome back to Hamster's Hobby Hang.
Affectionately so,
Chris.
right?
both you and Nate do that, and I love it. You have an extremely specific way that you introduce the stream to people.
Nice. I don't know. I just did it the first time, and it's been that way ever since.
Haven't watched in quite some time. Well, BitLather, you've picked a great week to come back.
Yeah, we have Shamrock Shakes featured on stream. Only once a year.
We're announcing our new sponsorship. One of those surprise giveaways at the game tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna mail it.
I'm gonna mail you this Shamrock Shake.
This exact one. Yeah.
I just got thirsty.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You know a little bit more, Chris, about the characters. I have the dwarf here. Who's playing this guy?
All right. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, if you just randomly stumbled across this month has been like all preparation for our 1 year anniversary of being on Twitch. Where this week has just been an onslaught of 4 streams in a row, where we're preparing this game entirely with the community, and tomorrow is the game, and tonight we're painting the players' minis for the game. We had them design their characters. The one that Hamster's got is Ulfgeir Fire. Ulfgeir? I think Ulfgeir is how it's pronounced. Ulfgeir Fireforge, which is the character that Topulus is going to be playing. Right. He's a dwarven forge cleric because he had to go for the meme. And outside of having red hair and ruddy skin, he said you can basically do whatever you want. Although he'll have a blue rim around his base, he'll be blue and Vorpal. Then the one that Toby has, I believe you have Rathgar, the human barbarian.
Pretty cool, right?
He's gonna have a red base. Outside of that, I don't think we have any more details. I've asked them. We'll see if. Yeah. We'll see if he sends any ideas. But I think at this point, whatever you think will look real fancy. I've also sent the character sheets in that chat before if you guys want to look into it there. And then Mace has our last player, Kindred.
Yeah.
Kindred is a green dragon board who will also have a green base. Outside of him being green, though, he said you can just do whatever you want. They don't seem to be...
Do.
Yeah.
This is my first mini in a while, so I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous because I want to make it good.
It's gonna be stellar because they're gonna go on a sweet adventure tomorrow. So no matter what, they'll have their honors.
It's all about the memories.
I'm spending a little time cleaning it up because I haven't touched it yet, but I'm excited because I got this assortment of what they call sanding twigs. This little coarse sticks, basically, to sand off some of the fiddly bits. So we'll see how those work.
And then on my end, I'm not painting today because I'm preparing documents and everything for everybody that's going to be helping run the game to just have like flowcharts and like what's going to be happening throughout it so that we can run it all smoothly.
And working on the McDonald's sponsorship, that too.
Oh, today we learned that the Dungeon of Doom Jade Edition is made with a Shamrock Shake, which is why it's limited, according to
Nice.
according to Clip Clop. So I guess because of that, I'll be able to pay more attention to chat, so I can be on chat duty this week, I guess. Did you create the video cuts yet for it? Video cuts. I don't know if we're gonna have video cutaways. That's part of also what I'm deciding today is when are we gonna cut to a picture? When are we doing all those things. Because, you know, last night we did the stream where we decided what happens in each of the rooms. So, then today has just been like, okay, we know what's happening now. What's the best way to produce this? And that's where we're at currently. Keep it simple. Yeah, what we're doing is already ridiculously ambitious enough that we should probably not make it. I shouldn't try. I need to make sure that it's all stuff that we can actually pull off, you know? Last night was very fun. Yeah, last night was a great stream. I'm happy that we got through it in 2.5 hours. I was worried that we'd have to leave some of it to be done today. But we got it.
All right.
When they enter the thing, you know, would be ideal. Not saying more here. I don't think
Spoilers?
any of them are in the stream.
Well,
Yeah.
if there's any stream we said they could come to, though, I think we did mention they might hop into this one, did we? Since there's no spoilers.
Okay. Toby,
Yes.
for your guy, the human barbarian, cape should probably be a deep red, but the others I'll leave to his artistic talent. Hair should be blonde, blue eyes, tan skin.
Okay.
Well,
So
I've got deep lava and cavern dry brush, so that's what he's getting.
Oh no, where's my cavern dry brush?
Yeah, I did say it would be okay. I think I did say it'd be okay to watch the hobby hang, but they might still be holding out anyways. I think Topulus is the only one of the players who usually would come to these, and I don't think he came tonight. Yeah, I don't see him in the viewer list.
Made a separate name.
Nah.
Okay.
If there was any stream where they're gonna come under a different name to hide, it would be any of the ones this week other than this one. Yeah, I don't think any of them are here, so it should be okay.
Oh, cavern dry brush.
Still, is what you're trying to imply that when they get to the boss room, we should have a video cutaway for that reveal? Is that what you're saying? Oh, the first room. Okay, we could potentially do something cool there. The thing is, like, so video cutaways, we aren't able to show to the players, is the thing. To do that would be very complicated. Like the video cutaways that we did during the Wildlands games, that was for the audience, but the players didn't see them. I'm trying to imagine if we were able to be in the office and just have all of our resources there the whole time, like all week, we could do a lot more. But we'll see. We'll make this work. We're just gonna make this work and try to get this game, this like ridiculous thing that we've set up, even to function, and then we can move forward with doing more interesting stuff with them moving on. But pandemic, yeah.
What's a pandemic?
I think they just call
Who
that normal
knows?
life now, yeah.
Oh, stop.
I can't wait, man. We've got children now. Imagine being a child.
Congrats.
Imagine
Yeah.
being a.
You have a child?
That's not what I meant. I'm saying, imagine being a child at the age where you're just now starting to actually develop like your concept of the world, and like your first year of actual memory has been this pandemic.
That'd be
I bet all
wild.
the kids that come out of this are going to be super weird and then also, by proxy, super cool.
Is that going to be like the definition of a new generation?
Are you sanding? with
Let's
me?
hope.
That would be my eldest daughter.
Yeah, I'm doing I'm using a new thing called a sanding twig. Little skinny thing. But just to get some of the little nubs off.
Oh, so these minis? We
That's
should
your
say.
rap name.
These minis are all done by Eldritch Foundry. They have a website. It works very similarly to Hero Forges, but they've got some different options and some interesting things like moving weapons and stuff like that, which is fun. We're getting on pretty good terms with them, and if at the game tomorrow, if you like the way these minis look, maybe you should watch the game tomorrow. Not just to see these minis, but I don't know, maybe there'll be some maybe there'll be some Eldritch Foundry related stuff for you tomorrow at the game. Who's to say?
Nice.
Got a mini from them, made an Orc Warlord. Nice.
It's not
Their interface is very, very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I did like it. I don't know if Hero Forge does this, but I was playing around with how you can customize the actual sculpt and the pose with the little vector points or whatever. That was neat. And pretty easy to use.
I still have to make mine that I got from Kevin's. Wildlands.
Yeah, I guess if you backed Wildlands, you actually know, or you have. I think everybody who backed Wildlands got 2 free minis, 1 free mini, or it was like
it was
money. It was money off. Yeah, it was a gift card. That's what it was. But yeah, I don't know. I like their system a lot. I need to make more. I have like several that I've started in there, and it's like the problem is I already have like my PC. So it's like we should use these for very important NPCs that we want to have custom minis for. Money off. Yeah, it was like a $10 or $15 gift card or something, I think. So that's what we did was we had them make it, send us the STL files, we printed them off, and now we're going to paint them up. And then after the game, we're going to send them their minis. So then they'll have custom painted Eldritch Foundry minis from the team. Should be a fun little incentive. Let's see. Waiting until they add the mount feature. Ooh, I didn't know they had mounts coming.
That'd be sweet.
All I know is I want some French fries. Unfortunately, these are already kind of cold, which is unfortunate, but they're still good.
But you could win them tomorrow with your Shamrock Shake if you tune in.
We'll be giving away a McDonald's gift card at the game tomorrow.
The challenge for this hobby hack should have been everyone has to paint with a shamrock shape, like as a paint.
Yeah,
They would have
want-
loved that on their game.
Building some of those rooms yesterday made me really want. I want us to make jade pieces again because man, those look so cool.
Yeah.
I love the jade Temple of Sasul.
Yeah.
Is each person painting a different player mini? Yeah. I'm not, but Hamster is painting Topulus's character. Mace is painting Austin's character, and Toby is painting Chris's character.
Sorry, Chris.
but don't be mistaken, Chris is planning and configuring literally everything else, so he's busy.
Yeah, I decided it would be best if I didn't paint because I'm setting up a bunch of documents, one for each of the people that's going to be working on the game tomorrow. So I'm making like a cheat sheet for Nate that reminds him, like a real brief, like, hey, this is what's happening in this room. This is like the flow of things, what you need to drive, like what you need to have happen. I'm going to have a version for me that I can have by the computer where I've notated like where all the scene changes are. I'm going to have a version for Mace. It's about when we're doing like chat interaction stuff. So I'm prepping all that stuff now that we know what the game's going to be because we decided that yesterday.
Right on.
A version for you, a version for Mace. Yeah,
A whole virgin?
a whole version.
God
Waiting for that.
damn.
Waiting for that Beyond Meat shake from McDonald's.
Oh god.
I would try it. I would barf, but I would try it.
Can't wait for that Bath and Beyond meat burger. Bed Bath and Beyond. Man,
Yeah, I've always wanted the hamburger.
there was a third B. I forgot about the third B. Oh well.
And it's the one that was the key one, too.
It's the really key one, yeah.
Just workshop it. You'll get it.
Ah, well. This is why I'm not a comedian.
Oh, there's a lot of reasons why, but that doesn't.
Wow!
Boom.
Wow! How come you're not a comedian?
I'm waiting to hit my peak, which means
Any
horrible depression where I'm at my funniest, which is what I've heard all comedians are at.
anytime somebody's mean, it's just
Oh
like,
my
wow, you should be
God.
a comedian. Anybody who's successfully mean should be a comedian.
I've been using my coffee mug as my paint mug, and I was like, why is it so dry? Why is this not getting any of the paint off? It's because it's an empty coffee mug.
I thought you said
So,
you were
you just-
drinking out of it.
You've just been painting the inside of your mug.
yeah, that's karma for saying that you have multiple reasons for why you shouldn't be a comedian. You're a very funny man, Chris. You're my second favorite daughter.
Funny how? Funny how?
Funny looking.
You got a great face for radio.
You got a great face for radio.
Yep, that's what I said.
What?
I'm sorry. Oh,
Man, you got me. I wish I
what's the
thought of
deal
it.
with, what's the deal with airline food?
No, isn't it? What's the deal with skydiving?
Well, that's my joke. It's
Okay.
what's the deal with skydivers? Is airplane food really that bad?
Oh my god.
Which is just a good joke. Like that's a
That
good
is a
Thank
good
you.
one.
that's some like Mitch Hedberg level one-liners.
I can be clever. This is when I'm going to peak. I'm gonna save that away for when I'm like, all right, I'll humiliate myself in front of an audience, sure. And then I'll tell that joke to multiple people.
Oh, if humiliating myself in front of an audience is all that needs to happen, then I guess actually after tomorrow we should be fine.
I think you might already be there, so the stress is off. Tomorrow, you're gonna be great. I
Maybe-
really think you're gonna do a good job, and you shouldn't stress about it.
That's why you do what you do. You're trying to help us all become comedians.
Yeah,
just-
that's why
you
I
just-
hurt you.
by
I hurt
making
you
us
because I
sad.
care. Yep.
That's really nice of you, mate.
Only with good intention.
I'm excited for
I know.
I'm excited for the room where I have to seduce Nate with the help of the players.
Whoa.
That's gonna be fun.
Should we get an HR going for that?
No, see that's the thing. It's perfectly fine because
Summon HR.
we're doing like a Cyrano de Bergerac scenario in one of the rooms, and so they're gonna be feeding me lines to try and woo Nate, who'll be playing the Fairy Queen, and the chat's gonna pick what my accent is. So, because for some reason, like Nate's been like every time Nate has been talking about every time Nate has been talking about like audience interaction, for some reason he's always like his go-to example had been like, yeah, like the audience gets to choose what accent you use.
That's
And this
so
is before,
funny.
and this is before we even had any like reason for me to be like actually in the game. And so then we got to one where it's like, oh, we could have you play the character, and then it was like, all right, now you gotta do that accent. How bored does someone have to be to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Picorni's Angel's still a thing? Yeah, we're actually gonna. I talked to Nate this morning. I was trying to figure out how we could. I want to make sure that everybody who was involved in helping make this is credited. So we're going to canonically be shouting out whenever we go into a room. As part of the description, we're gonna have some kind of canonic shout out to the person who made the room as being like a Picorni's Angel. So.
Awesome.
Oh, that's right. You guys weren't there for the stream. So the three of them, the three players, are part of a group known as Picorni's Angels. And
I love that.
and so I'm literally going to be to help like move things along, I'm gonna be like on like a like they've all got like sending stones in their ears, and so we can do like the secret agent thing of like putting your fingers up to your ear and like talking. So like I can like feed them information and stuff like that. And yeah, I'd be Bosley. And the fun thing is, so we've worked Rabbit Burner into his build, and he's like the first like angel. He's like the big legendary like Bokorny's angel, like the one that inspired all of them to want to join it. And he's been trapped in here. So that's the thing, is like a bunch of the angels have like disappeared in this area, and so they
Burner is Farrah Fawcett.
yeah, Rabbit Burner is Farrah Fawcett. Yes.
Ferret Fawcett.
Ferret Fawcett. Ferret Fawcett. Yes. And so in that place, like there's gonna be a he's gonna have been like stuck there for a long time, and so he's gonna be like really on edge. He's gonna think that they're there to like attack him. So he doesn't have his weapons anymore. So what he does is there's this stone on the top of the Hellgate. One of the arcane pylons from Plague Stone is there, and so as long as he's like touching it and like attuned to it, it churns his insults into improved vicious mockery attacks. And so he's gonna be just hurling insults at them, and then and they have to like beat him in an insult competition or in some other way, like talk him down, or they could just attack him. If they kill him, they get through the room, but like, you know, it's not the good ending. If they get through the room with him alive, if they manage to like, you know, talk him down or impress him with their insults, then it like triggers one of the secret giveaways. It's like one of the secret objectives. We have secret objectives hidden throughout a bunch of the so a bunch of the rooms have secret objectives in them, like Sassoul basketball, and if they manage to fulfill so if they manage to fulfill those secret objectives, it unlocks a secret giveaway.
Oh wait. Just in case they're in the room, if this is the stream that they're allowed to watch, we should save, even though it's not spoilery, we should save this for tomorrow.
Okay. I got excited because I just realized, like
I know, and I think it's a really exciting thing too. I love these ideas, but I just
none of them have heard this. But yeah, so that's the point. Yeah, none of them are here.
Okay, good.
But yeah, that's the point. Also known as Snake Jam. Yeah.
Welcome to the Snake Jam.
Man, I love Ferret Fawcett. That's such a good man. Feral Fawcett.
You.
They're saying Feral Fawcett.
That's also very
too.
good.
Is this a no spoiler stream? We thought that like this might be a safe one for the players to come in on if they wanted, since we'd just be painting their player minis. But I think we ended up telling them actually it probably wouldn't be safe in case I ended up having to paint some monsters or NPCs or something we're gonna have to use in the game. Although that wound up not being the case, I think we already have all the minis we need for the game. Ferrets are not Lego morphs. Yeah, but they're all in Redwall. That's all that matters. Man, I wish that Catherine O'Hara was in Charlie's Angels in some fashion, because we could just call him Catherine O'Hare. Oh well.
Have I told you guys about the raccoon that keeps visiting me?
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
I had a raccoon come to my backyard yesterday too.
What?
I had a raccoon come to my backyard yesterday too. Nice.
It must be raccoon season. I don't know. It's gotten to the point where now if I open my window, he'll hear it, or she, no, not assuming the gender, but that raccoon will hear it, dart immediately up, and then come over, which is my fault because I did put out snacks for it.
Oh dear.
It's terrifying because it's like, okay, I don't want to have to open my window and then be afraid of a raccoon every time I do it. So now every time I do open my window, I kind of have to check both ways, look up and down.
Look up.
It's either a really, really beautiful omen or a terrifying blessing, and there's
honestly,
no in between.
If you see babies with it, that's when I'd be worried. Mother raccoons can be like viciously protective.
So it doesn't have rabies and it doesn't have babies, and that could be a raccoon rap song.
Babies with rabies would be like a great super group. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'd be
seems
into that.
safe, but I don't want to risk it. And I do want a pet raccoon, so I think if I risk it, I would just keep it, which would be even stickier.
So who were the winners again? The players are Topulus, Rad Austin, and C. Gatrow. Or Gatro. I'm actually not sure how it's pronounced. It's probably Gatro. Makes more sense. So those will be the 3 players. We pulled Orion Noir, Knighthood, and David Moffat as understudies in case something goes wrong, although it's looking like everything will be fine. The builders for the Shadowed Angels. Let me get the full list. Because we ended up using 10 builds. It's so fun. It's... I remember thinking, like, okay, yeah, we're gonna pick 6 builds. We're gonna pick 3, and then everybody else is gonna vote on the other 3. It was like, yeah, that doesn't seem like too many. We ended up picking 5, and then the vote ended up having a 3-way tie for 3rd place. We ended up just taking 5 off of the vote as well. So we ended up with almost twice as many builds as we initially said we were gonna do. Let me see. The winners. So we've got Dragos, Merc, Seraphis, No Time for Dudes, Marja Phelan, who I think is off the Facebook group, so I need to contact her because I don't know if she watches the Twitch or does any of the other stuff. So I want to message her and just let her know, like, hey, if you want to see your thing, we're using it.
Ooh, it's a good time to push that. I know everybody here is obviously still watching on Twitch, but you actually set up the side YouTube account.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
If you
Yeah.
want.
Some people struggle, and we mostly did this. This probably won't be relevant to most of the people who are watching right now, but
Right, yeah.
But some people struggle with Twitch's bandwidth if they have slower internet or if they just don't like the way Twitch works or something like that. And so we started backing up the streams on YouTube channel as well. We just put the archives up there, so they're usually uploaded within within 24 hours of when we stream. I try to get them up right away. So they are there if you want to like binge the streams at like 1.5 times speed or something. If you just look for, actually, I think I made a command for it. Well, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Maybe it's not working for some reason. If you just type Dwarven Forge Live, all one word, in the YouTube search, it'll show up. But yeah, let's, right, so I showed you the half. So those are the 5 that I said before. Dragos, Merc, Marja Phelan, Seraphis, and No Time for Dudes. They are all those are the ones that we picked, and then the votes happened, and Ogre's build was selected, David Moffat's build was selected, Mako/Paul's build was selected, Casper Kenobi's build was selected, and then there's one more. Where's the last one? Oh yeah, Rabbit Burner. Right, the one whose build was named after him. So
Which,
yeah,
who did the disco build?
that was.
Am I allowed to say that?
It's a combination. Yeah. It's a combination. That one is Dragos and Merc both did disco builds. And so we're taking elements of both. We're using mostly Dragos' footprint, but then we're adding a bunch of elements that Merc had in their build to kind of punch it up.
I love that one.
The disco, the fact that 2 people thought of a disco build is amazing to me. But it is one of those situations where you're looking at it and it's like, we know we have to pick a disco thing. That's why we ended up picking 5 builds, was we picked both of the disco rooms because we were like, we already have a disco room and we don't want to have like 2 separate disco rooms because it's too much of a repetitive thing. So let's just take these 2 disco rooms and make a super room out of it. And yeah.
But yeah, the disco room will be so cool. Like, especially like if it was like next year when we had like the light puck.
Yeah.
Between things.
Well, we're gonna try and see what cool stuff we can come up with for it.
No, I wasn't trying to say that it's not cool. Yeah.
Just saying it will be cooler when we do another one
exactly.
with the light puck.
Yeah. Well, we should have Disco Room 2.0 at some point.
Well, that's one of the things I got to remember too. Is like we're doing all this during the pandemic still, like, you
Definitely.
know, serve drinks, dance. Oh yeah, forgot about the ale pool. The ale pool build was.
Good too.
What's that?
That one's really good too. I loved that one.
Yeah, we're doing that one. So we decided what it is there's going to be an ale pudding. Like there's going to be an ooze that's just made of alcohol. And it's going to be a bartending challenge.
Is it the booze ooze?
The booze ooze. Oh. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I got to send that to Nate. Okay. Who did the brewery? The brewery was, I believe, Seraphis / Rockin' Daddy. It's either him or it's No Time for Dudes. I'm trying to remember, like, all of them connected to the right name. Yeah, Magic Ale Pool was Seraphis. Right, because Den of Hell was No Time for Dudes. My favorite thing about it, though, is most of this game is very chaotic, but there are 2 rooms where we actually, like, have it get, like, kind of serious and just, like, cool fantasy. And I'm kind of excited for those, like, shifts in tone. Yeah, so we gotta go with Boozoos. Okay, Slaughter Smith's Boozoos after Jacqueline Smith. Is there a keyword tonight? Yeah, we'll be doing a giveaway in about a half hour. The giveaway tonight is actually going to be like a painting starter set. So it'll be a starter dungeon, but it'll be an unpainted starter dungeon with with a set of Picorni brushes and the Picorni paints that you need to paint the dungeon. So
that's really cool.
It'll be a nice little bundle. We wanted to try and have a giveaway every night this week, but have like giveaways that made sense for
per stream.
For what the stream was. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe we'll get to do more of that stuff. I think we're gonna end up doing a giveaway of the Ghost Tiny brushes on one of the hobby hangs in a couple weeks too. They're sending us some stuff, and I think Nate said we should give one away. So,
which brushes?
Yeah, we're Ghost Tiny. Oh, have you seen these yet?
No.
Ghost Tiny, look it up. Actually, it's a very cool. Nate, it's literally it's like a 1-person company. It's Ghost Tiny, all one word. They're on Kickstarter right now, but they're fine detail. I think are they line brushes? What are they? They're mini dry brushes. I think is what they are. Let me bring the
Ghost Tiny brushes.
Yeah, thanks to me. Oh no, not thanks to me. Thanks to Nate. Nate's the person who told me about it right before the fine detail paint brush set. Yeah, so it's a bunch of brushes made specifically for minis. A lot of detail brushes, and I think he unlocked a stretch goal that was doing like a mini dry brush for dry brushing like small areas.
Well, that looks cool.
Yeah, and it's like a cool aesthetic. Let me put that in here. There's still 2 weeks left on the Kickstarter, but they're sending us some stuff so that we can try it out on the hobby hang. And I think we're also going to be giving one away. Back to the brushes too, detail brushes. Yeah, that's it. You should give away one of those shopping cart madness shots where we can run around your warehouse for 2 minutes with a shopping cart and take whatever we want. But it's like only the resin stuff, so you can't like just knock it off the shelf into your cart or it might break. I built with resin for the first time yesterday. Because some of the rooms for the game use resin pieces, and it feels so different. I'm just like immediately so nervous building with resin compared to the Dwarvenite.
Theoretically, though, it shouldn't be that different than when you're building with prototypes, because the ones we get back from factory are the same material, but it feels so different.
I don't really build with the prototypes much either, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess also with that, I think with the resin, I'm scared mostly because when we're doing like prototype builds, it's like we got a bunch of them around and stuff like that. Generally speaking, and also like they aren't like the finished product.
Yeah.
The masters are another thing. I definitely worry about breaking masters. But with the resin, I think specifically it's because we were building with the catacombs, and it's like, this is the one set of catacombs that we have in this office. If you break something, we can't do this build. That was the main thing.
Thank you for caring if the masters break. Not always true for everybody.
The master is like one of the most important things we can have in the office. Why?
I've
You know,
I found a lot of leaves break this year.
Oh, the trees.
Just stuff like that.
I can imagine. I can imagine that. Well, the trees are some of the most fragile.
Right.
prototypes
Those,
we
they are
possibly have.
fragile.
It's a bunch of it's because it's a bunch of tiny. Yeah, which thank God it's dwarvenite. If we did those trees in resin,
Oh yeah.
man,
I'm still just staring at this Kickstarter of the brushes.
they're cool looking brushes, right? Like I
Yeah.
just like it's aesthetically too. Like the aesthetic is really nice.
Yeah.
when we did the team minis a while ago, and we were using that for like every single like video shoot, oh man, they broke so many times. I feel like each one of them had like at least 10 layers of glue.
Oh yeah,
each
I've
one.
done some surgery on those minis.
Yep.
People keep asking us about doing the team minis in dwarvenite,
I
or
want-
even just doing like a. It'd be great, but like, can we really justify the cost of a mold for those minis?
They work as generic adventures.
I guess, but do we have enough of a market to sell generic adventures?
Anyway,
Yeah.
I want me as a mini.
Here's the thing. I would love for us to do it.
Yeah,
I just understand why financially it might not be the smartest idea.
Okay, no, I agree, but I don't.
I also agree, especially since we haven't been able to get our own Dwarvenite versions. It proves that it might not be top priority right now.
Where's the dwarf mini from? All three of the minis that they're working on right now are from Eldritch Foundry. They are the minis for the game tomorrow night. They're the player minis. Has anyone used their stuff before? I haven't. Nate swears by them. Nate says he loves these brushes. They are sending us some to test out though. I'm not sure when they're going to get here. I think they're planning on getting here before the Kickstarter's over, so we should be able to test them soon.
Nate said he uses them.
Yeah, not these specific ones because these are new ones that he's trying to make, but
Yeah.
like the other brushes that he's made before. Nate says he
nice.
really likes them.
Chris, will you do me a favor tomorrow and bring some of your metallics?
Which ones? The interference paints?
Just literally any metallics. Silver would be great, but there's none here.
Yeah, I can bring blade steel. We have no metallics at the office.
It seems like all the paints we have that I've been able to find are Picorni.
We should have Cecile Silver, don't we?
Oh, maybe. I'll go back and hit the stacks in a second.
You got all the monsters ready? Nate and I were talking through it afterwards, and yeah, I was looking at with all the minis that I've been painting here, and then the ones that we have at the office. The nice thing is, a lot of the minis are generally things that we have made in our Kickstarters because that's what people were allowed to use for the competition. So stuff like the Yorgrim and all that, like yeah, we got that at the office. A couple other things, like we came up with a solution for like the dark side stuff in the dark mirror room, because that was like an interesting thing because we were like, do we paint like the player minis twice? But it's like, no, that's weird. Although maybe we could use Toby, if you have the failed prints of them, maybe we could just use the failed prints of of their minis to be like their dark side counterparts, and they'll just be like unpainted, like failed prints.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, like some of them are more failed than others. Like the one Mace is working on, like one of the weapons came out, but the dwarf, like only the back of the hammer didn't come out, so it'll be a lopsided, but I
Yeah,
guess-
we could like theoretically do that. I think that would be the coolest thing to do. It just comes down to like if we have time to run. We could either use the ones that have already been run, depending on what state they're in, or theoretically like printing them again and just having like unpainted versions of them, or like versions of them where all we've done is like put like a black wash over them or something. Could be like their shadow versions. That would be cool. But it comes
can
down to
give
like
it
a do we then it'd be on like do we have time to do that, or do we need the printer to be doing other stuff? Is the main thing.
No, if we're using the failed prints, we're not going to be able to use it. Get the prints for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's bring in the failed prints then, and let's see if we can just use the failed prints.
Yeah.
That could be really fun actually.
Yeah.
Because initially what I was gonna do is I was gonna use some of like the shades and wraiths and banshees and stuff that I've been painting, and just use like these kind of like ghostly things that I dry brush because I have like 6 of those. But if we can just use like, yeah, the failed prints, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. I like that.
And then we'll still just rim the base with their color so that they can tell which one belongs to who.
Wait, my guy was what color base? Blue or?
The one that you have is red. The one that
I think mine's blue,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Hamster's is blue, Mace is green, Toby's is red.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know why I pointed at the screen as though it's gonna translate for any of you. Who do I contact to get my Wildlands Untamed Kickstarter Eldritch Foundry coupons again? Absolutely contact customer service for that, and they can sort it out for you.
You got half the people on this stream are part of customer service, so.
That's a really good point. Hamster, what do they do if they said they never use their Eldritch Foundry coupons and they can't find the email? Is there a way that customer service can help them out?
That one I actually don't know because I haven't
You
seen
started
it yet.
after we did that.
Yeah, I started.
Yeah.
I've only been doing it for like a month, but send in an email and email
Yeah.
customer service, and whoever gets that will find out like when they see that. So you'll still get a correct response.
Okay.
Not to put you on. Sorry, Hamster. I didn't mean to. put you
No,
on the
no,
spot.
that's absolutely. If the person who sees it doesn't know, we just, spam emails and stuff until we find out. So.
True.
Off-game topic. To have a curious question about the Underdoom paint scheme. What is used on the edging part of the caverns, banks, etc.? It's like purple, but don't know the mix.
Let's see. Caverns,
that-
banks, Underdoom. You know what?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
like the
something I
Underdoom
gotta
paint.
find out because.
It's that
Wow.
weird kind of like where it gets like to the lighter kind of bluish purple on the edges, I think.
Yeah. It's like this.
Did Aaron do a video on that? Because that's when I just started and she
I don't know.
designed that.
We're gonna have to get more knowledgeable about it though, because we're about to start. If we do that Underdoom core set, we're gonna need to be more familiar with with the Underdoom
Right.
paints than we've had to be lately.
Let's see if there's a video.
Yeah. Merck's saying they remember there being a video. She did, but it's not in there, so I guess they didn't cover that specific part.
It's definitely gonna be the same colors though, the same paint colors.
But it's purple and silver.
It's like purple and silver,
Yeah.
over the caverns paint. So if you look at the caverns
you
video
think-
and the Underdoom video,
Do you think they just mixed in Cecile Silver?
I'm trying to find the piece.
It's all the Banks pieces that have it.
Yeah.
I think it was 3-1 blue to red with some drops of base gray. Oh, for like the base Underdoom.
It's 6:46, my dudes.
Mark it.
And
Going
you know
early.
what time
Whoa!
that is.
Let's go, baby!
Let's
Yeah,
go,
well,
baby.
Earlier. Normally it's after 7, but wild day.
Wildlands.
Wild lamps.
Are lambs?
Wild lamps.
Wild.
We should have made a weapon. It's called the Wild Lance. Is there a Wildlands file that shows all the paint colors I need? We don't know the final paint scheme for Wildlands yet, because we need to until we get the paint masters back from the factory, and we're like, cool, yeah, that looks good. We know what it currently is, but we don't want to put out like an official paint list until we know for sure what the factory version is going to look like. So we will put out the list. We'll know before Wildlands like ships out. So you'll have a heads up about what the paints are. You just have to make sure we have to get the tests back from the factory first. When is the next 2021 Dwarven Forge restock? Right now the factory is on Lunar New Year, so we have like a list of the things that we want to ask about, but until they get back, we're not going to be able to work it out. So we should, in the next couple weeks, we should have a firm idea. We're gonna have a meeting at some point where we will mock out like what the restock schedule is for the year, but we do know what sort of stuff we're wanting to do. There's a fair amount on there. I'm trying to pay attention to what people are looking for so we can get those requests in. There will be one? Yeah, there will be one, and we will know ahead of time. We just don't know yet. We'll know a bit before it ships, though. Did they do the giveaway yet? We have not done the giveaway yet. We'll do the giveaway in about 10-ish minutes. We spent an age going through the Arcane Runes paint stream with Hamster, getting his recipe, and just ordered the paints we don't have. It's a lot of Bubbles Blue, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's one of the most important colors of the scheme.
It pops real well. The Bubbles Blue is just a very vibrant color. I like it a lot.
Definitely one of my favorites. And it's the step too that really where things start looking really good and detailed.
I'm actually looking forward to painting those because now that I've done all those Hellscape pieces with the Infernal Runes and stuff, I'm like, it's the same kind of philosophy, right? You fill in all the cracks and stuff with the color you want it to be, and you dry brush over it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it gives you that cool kind of like glow through effect.
Yeah, that's I definitely tried to design it. I mean, we had designed every scheme to be really accessible, so it's just pretty much a lot of dry brushing, and the great thing, like you said, about runes is if it looks kind of dusty and messy, it's a ruin, so it'll work. You can't really go wrong.
I'm checking real quick, but I'm pretty sure docs are... Yeah, we have docs from KS6 on the restock list. So we are planning to restock that this year. Cave elevation. Just trying to get... This also isn't the most up-to-date thing either, because this is before we even decided to do the Underdoom core set. So the Underdoom core isn't on here. I'm also hearing rumors that we're going to be doing the Crooked Caverns in ice paint. But we're not 100% on that yet. But I know we were talking about expanding the ice core sets that we have on offer because they were selling pretty well.
Because it's only one set. Yeah. Yeah, I think it needs some more. That's great.
Yeah. So like I know the list of like what things we're considering for restocks, but it won't be until after they get back from New Year's and we actually like have conversations that we can get an estimate of what is being made when and the schedule and all that.
I stole paint off your desk, Hamster.
Nice.
Any chance we'll ever see
Okay.
Cave Cliffs again? Cave Cliffs from KS6? Let's see. I do know that we're trying to... we have a lot of different cavern core packs we want to make over time. We actually had a meeting recently where we were figuring out what order we should do all that in. Because I know people are asking for like a passages pack. They're asking for elevation packs.
Yeah, Ice didn't get any elevation. It needs it. It didn't even get the bottom of the stairway of violence.
Yeah. So we are. The nice thing is that once we make once we make a caverns pack, we can then convert it into the other paint schemes fairly easily. Like, we don't need to make a new mold to convert the paint scheme on a set, you know? How do we paint ice pieces? Colors used? The ice pieces are fairly easy to paint, aren't they? Like, it's mostly dry brushing, I think.
Yeah, it's like a blue-gray base coat and then white dry brush.
I think ice might be one of the easiest paint schemes in the set. Because again, it's one of those situations where, like, it doesn't look messed up if it's uneven, really.
Right.
Let's see. I actually don't see a Plague Stone section for restocks. I don't know about that. Like I said, I'm also going off a list that is not the most up to date.
Oh no, his axe broke.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to find glue. I know I have glue somewhere.
You broke him?
Yeah, I don't know if the heat gun made it weaker. I don't think so.
You put him under the gun?
Yeah.
Toby's got a gun.
I want a gun pull accessory, so I can put guns on the boat, like, but not like rifles or anything, or just like small handguns sitting on the side of the boat.
You want a reverse bayonet?
Reverse bayonet, but not like the one you. Who showed that? Was it you?
Uh-huh.
It was
But
me.
yeah, but it just the handle of a gun and a handle of a knife together.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
It
Glued
doesn't-
together.
Yeah.
Is Wildlands still on track for June delivery? We haven't delayed it yet. It's still, it depends on how quickly the factory figures out all their tooling stuff and all that. So far, there has not been any news that has made us go like, yeah, we got to push back delivery. That might change. It depends on, they're still doing all their test shots right now. So if we come across something where it's like, okay, we need to rethink something about this piece to make it feasible for production, man, Hamster, that already looks so good. And it's not even like, you're just doing like, is it, that's,
I'm
you're
just doing like black
highlights
and white
stuff, right?
first, and then I'll color it with
Yeah.
some glaze. Thanks, man.
No, giveaway in about 5 minutes. You have not missed anything yet. Wildlands Twilight 2000. What's Twilight 2000? Hamster, do you know what Twilight 2000 is?
I don't know what that is.
Is it related to the movie franchise? The book franchise, I guess.
I don't know. Are we doing vampires and werewolves, but like, you know, high school drama versions?
Probably
It's an RPG. Is it an RPG actually related to, Huh. Oh, it's an old RPG. Okay, so it's probably not related to the books then. Hey, Gentleman Wake, how you doing? Let's see. The makeup of the PCs is pretty straightforward. The one that Hamster's painting right there is a Dwarven Forge Cleric, funnily enough. And then Mace is painting a Dragonborn fighter with, I think, 2 levels in Barbarian, 3 levels in Barbarian. I think 3. Yeah, 6 levels in fighter, 3 levels in Barbarian. And then Toby is painting a human Barbarian.
Have you guys ever used multi-class characters?
Yeah. My first character in 3.5 was a multi-class.
That just feels to me more accurate than a character with just one class, but I've never played a multi-class. Like, it feels more accurate to people.
It's interesting, right? I think a lot of it depends on how much you want to get into min-maxing.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're talking about doing stuff like pally locks, where that's just, like, unknown, like, hey, if you're trying to, like, build a character that's going to be the most capable, there's stuff like that. But I think it is interesting, yeah, like, from a roleplay perspective. If your character meets someone or has an experience where it's like, you know, realistically, it seems like right now they wouldn't be focusing their attentions in improving in this area of combat that like they've been improving in, but it makes sense that they would be like looking at a different like philosophy right now.
Yeah, I the only time I multi-classed was when a devil like trapped me in an agreement that I basically had to sign or die, and so I multi-classed as a warlock.
Oh, damn. That's how the devil gets you.
The classic. It's exactly how it happened in the Bible.
That's what Jesus had to do. I'm gonna grab more paint.
Remember when
Ready.
remember when Job had to multi-class? The devil like took him out there and he's like, "You're not going to get your level 20 abilities. No, you're taking one level in Druid. I'm sorry." Multi-class feels strong in the early game, especially when some of the mid-levels don't do much, but raging on a monk, fun. Yeah. There's a couple multi-class options where they just synergize because like they have the same like important stats, which like is the most of the characters that they're playing tomorrow are super like specced up and kind of min-maxed. Like the Dragonborn that Mace is painting, the reason he did the fighter barbarian mix is he's going to be doing all his fighter attacks, and he wants to be able to rage and do reckless attack every round. But he also has an adamantine breastplate, so that even though he'll, you know, every attack against him will have advantage, he can't be critically hit. So, a lot of min-maxing going on, which I think is great, because I don't think they're actually expecting the kind of game they're going to wind up getting, which should be a lot of fun. You want to play Muscle Mage sometime? One of my favorite one-shot characters I made was a Tortle War Cleric named Zap Shell Squat, and I played him entirely as a as a physical fighter, where all of his magic was just about buffing him and his allies, and like it was more about battlefield control than about using the spells to do damage. And his main thing was like going in there with like a warhammer, and because I used his did they get one magic item of their choice then? They get 3. They got 3, I think they got 1 rare and 2 uncommon magic items each. So, Wrathgar, the Dragonborn, Wrathgar, the human barbarian, he took an Amulet of Health. So at level 9, he has 104 HP, first off. He has, and that's because he has an Amulet of Health, which set his Constitution to 19. So he's got 4... He's got a +4 to his Constitution. He's got a Cloak of Protection, which raises, a +1 to AC and saving throws. His AC is actually fairly low for playing this kind of tank, but he's definitely playing a glass cannon. He's got 20 strength. Let's see. Kindred, on the other hand, what weapons did he go with? He's got a necklace of fireballs, because of course. What's up?
Nothing.
Okay. Glaive of Warning, Adamantine Breastplate are his magic items. And then the Cleric has a Warhammer of Disruption, Gauntlets of Ogre Power, and a Pearl of Power as his magic items. His AC is 22. They're all built to be very beefy. Howdy, y'all. Oh, we should do the giveaway. Hang on a second. Let me set this up. I'll be right back.
He's gonna set up the Shamrock Shake display coming up.
Shamrock Shake cam.
We could be pro Fortnite gamers. All right. What word should we use for the giveaway tonight?
Disco.
Ferret Fawcett. Disco, yeah.
All right. The word of the day is disco. If you want a chance to win a little starter painter pack with an unpainted starter dungeon, some Picorni brushes, and the Picorni paints that you need to paint a starter dungeon, go ahead and type disco in the chat. We can only ship to the US, by the way. If you live outside the US, as long as you have an address that we can ship it to in the US, then your friend or family or whoever lives there can forward it to you. We'll roll it in about 5 minutes. All you gotta do is type it once. You won't be disqualified if you type it a second time. Don't worry about it. It just fills up the chat. Yeah. Disco, it's not case sensitive. You can use it in a sentence. You can do whatever you want with it. Like disco magic, yeah. You're panicking here. Why are you panicking? Don't panic. This is an entirely safe safe endeavor. Hey.
As your cat comes to sabotage it.
Yeah, my cat's trying to get into some stuff. Oh, yesterday, the second wave of the wheelchair minis got here yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I haven't assembled them yet, but got them all in here, and all the individual pieces look very good. I'm excited to get into that. Hey, cut that out. Nabisco? Unpainted scares you. Here, I mean, look. The starter dungeon is one of the easiest things you could possibly start painting with.
That's true.
I will say that much. It's a incredibly easy... it's a very easy set to paint. And it comes with all the paints that you need for it. We've also got like painting guides up for it as well that you'll be able to look at. Everybody in the Discord and here can give you advice. I think if there's anything you're gonna start painting with, a starter dungeon is a pretty good deal. This cat is following the McDonald's bag around the room to try and eat it.
I gave Monk McDonald's once, and they went nuts over it.
I want the starter dungeon and the paint slash brushes to be sent along with the Mickey D's wrapping bag. If we were actually sending it from the office, I would genuinely do that. But yeah. My Ring camera just caught a possum. Uh-oh. Are you gonna let it go? I'm just imagining like the Ring camera like has like a little like net that it can shoot out if it thinks somebody's trying to like break in. The painting of the dungeon is super forgiving. Yeah. Basic dungeon pieces are probably the most forgiving pieces we make. Enjoy non-painted Aaron Thor. Yeah, Aaron Thor is also a pretty easy paint job. Disco. Sorry for asking again. What paintbrush size are you using, Hamster, for that level of detail?
This is so every brand has like different sizing, which is annoying, right? So this is a size 1, so pretty small. For reference, this is a 4 and a 3. And this is my 1 right here. So, pretty small. I'm probably going to go a little bit smaller, but I'm trying to do a thing where hopefully I can get some detail quickly and just paint everything once instead of, like, the classic base wash highlight, I can just paint each value once and coloring book it.
So are you doing that so then when you paint what you actually want the color of that shield to be, for example, it'll have like little gleam lines where it'll be like lighter on the base color?
Yeah, like basically it'll be hopefully thin enough to all the work I'm doing now will still be visible. So then I don't need a highlight in the color. I can just like do a really thin wash basically in certain areas.
Okay.
You're like preemptively adding value.
It's nice for tabletop, you know, some quick tabletop where you still want it to look clear and decent, but it's not like super finicky to paint.
That's the thing is like even looking at it like from this distance through a computer, like the blocking out that you've done like reads very, very well.
Well, thank you. And here's the craziest thing is as I look at it in my view, ton of mistakes. But that's the beauty of it is, you know, you draw attention to certain parts and like you're not going to notice all of them.
How's everyone doing? Hey, Unforged, we're doing pretty good. Just getting the minis ready for tomorrow. Oh yeah, if you want to enter the giveaway, we're giving away unpainted starter dungeon with some Picorni brushes and also the Picorni paints that you need to paint the starter dungeon. If you're interested in that. Yeah, we're painting the player minis for tomorrow's game, and I'm ostensibly working on the, I don't even know what to call them, the production plan, the flow chart of what's going to be happening in the game, like letting everybody know, like, this is what your job's going to be at each of these points, that will have, like, instructions throughout the game, so everything can go smoothly, because we have 10 rooms to get through in 3.5 hours.
Dang.
It's funny because I was looking at it with Nate. I was like, you know, for a 4-hour game, a DM would use 2, maybe 3 of these rooms.
Right.
Like, what we're doing is ridiculous. Is it open to US only? We can only ship it to the US. However, if you live outside the US, if you have, like, a friend in the US that we can ship it to you that can forward it for you, like, that's fine. We just can only ship to the US.
I saw a mention of airbrushing. What's really neat about painting something that's 3D is you can use the angle of your airbrush to like basically highlight and shade just the way you point it and spray. I kind of want to test having airbrushes on stream because like I don't know how loud the compressor is and stuff on the mic, and I'm gonna change my setup in my room soon, so when that I can probably make it better to airbrush more frequently. And I think DMN asked, what's that?
I think what you should do is get a really long cord, the air tube.
Oh sure.
So you put the airbrush.
I'll put the compressor in Kate's room across the hall, and she can deal with it, and then I'll just have the airbrush in the next room. I think DMN asked if I'm using my best brushes. I'm trying a bunch of new brands. They are all a bunch of my natural hair brushes, so they are really nice. Because what I learned is when I buy nice things, I never ever use them. So I'm forcing myself to now. So I have...
It's because you grew up playing video games.
Yeah, right.
You played those RPGs where you hold on to all your elixirs until the end of the game, and then you still don't use them against the final boss because you're like, what if there's a second phase?
Exactly. I have hundreds of them, and I'm like, I must hoard them.
Yeah.
The red ones are the new Sam Lens ones that Monument Hobby put together a little bundle. These are the Squidmar Kickstarter ones that come in the cool tin. These little brown handle ones that I'm trying out. And this one I've seen suggested for years. It's the Raphael 8404. I've seen that like on forums and stuff for years and years. And this is the first one I'm trying. It's the size 0 because they're so popular. I guess they're out of stock everywhere. But I like the size anyway. I was going to go slightly bigger, but that one is probably my favorite so far.
Nice.
And I have some Series 7s, Winsor & Newton, that I think I've almost had them for 10 years at this point. I haven't used them, so it's like, yeah, it's time.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll this giveaway. Ugh. All right. 70 people entered the giveaway. Let's go. Poser. Poser 20.
I barely know
Poser
it.
2118.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's see. All right, Hoser, where are you? I gotta send you a message so I can get your contact info. Or your shipping address. We can send you your stuff. You're somewhere in here. There you are. All right.
Is there a name for the method that you're using, Hamster?
God, what is it? It's actually a method from like the classical masters. That's kind of how they did some things to save when, like, you know, pigments. Nowadays there's a lot of synthetic cheap pigments, but when they were actually the natural, like made out of minerals and stuff, and they're expensive, they would save on their good paints and just do black grayscale sort of thing, and then glaze it. I think it's called Grisaille or something, but it comes from that.
I want to try that. It seems like it would be very intuitive for somebody that is used to like 2D art, like just paper and pencil kind of stuff.
You know what it reminds me of is the daguerreotype.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was the first publicly available photographic process widely used during the 1840s and 1850s.
Wow, 1800s. Yeah, interesting.
It was used for a lot of black and white photos.
You just remember that, huh? Just
yeah. It sounds really familiar. Let me ask a question. Have you ever played Life is Strange? That's where I learned about it. I have a lot of like random knowledge on random subjects that I remember. You have played it? In Life is Strange, the very beginning of Life is Strange, they talk about daguerreotypes for a little bit, and it gets repeated later on. And it's Chris never fails to impress me with his computer-like memory of photographic processes. Yeah, I'm what can I say? I like pictures. Yeah, daguerreotypes. I might not be pronouncing it correctly. All right, good night, Rabbit Burner. Thanks for coming.
Good night, Rabbit.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know about that is they make a big deal out of it, and it's supposed to be like foreshadowing of something later in the game. That's a late 1880s thing. It's like 1850s, 1840s and 50s. Yeah. Polish a sheet of silver-plated copper to a mere finish. Treated it with fumes that made it light sensitive. Exposed it in the camera for as long as was judged to be necessary. Just like super early. Back when they used copper for pictures. Man. Silver-plated copper.
Hamster, how do you make silver pop on minis?
Highlight it with pure white.
White first and then silver, or?
No, so paint it silver,
Yeah.
and then like on the corners and the edges, do actually white paint.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
She also mentions...
I don't know if I have white, but...
Or you're like your lightest, even like, well, I don't know if Cavern's dry brush might be too yellow, but if you have what's the ivory? Stone edge, yeah.
Yeah, I have that one, but it's all liquidy.
Yeah, they're a little transparent. Aimee was asking about best airbrush for beginner, and I've had an Iwata Eclipse HPCS, this guy here. I had one in high school when I was first started hobbying. I ended up selling it, but I went back to it when I got into airbrushing again. It's that perfect like mid-range brush where it's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive, and you're gonna be happy with it forever. Whereas like if you get sort of the bundle cheapo ones where it's like airbrushing starter kit, like that thing's, you're gonna get more familiar with airbrushing and you're not gonna like it anymore. But this, you could use this forever for everything. You can get different needle sizes. I would suggest this to anyone. I have a couple different ones, but this one could be, I could be happy with it forever.
I feel like if your parents found that in your room though, you'd have to have a really awkward conversation.
What the heck is this? It's for my hobby. But the biggest thing, if you're looking, is make sure you get the one with the paint cup on the top, not on the bottom. That's a siphon feed. That's a different one. You want the gravity feed, and make sure you get one where it's a double action, where down lets out the air and back does the paint, so you have double control like that.
She also mentions that Final Fantasy Spirits Within wasn't a bad movie. See, that's how you know. So that's just because it was a Square Enix game. I gotta be real. They had to protect their own. Also, Final Fantasy Spirits Within isn't that bad compared to Kingsglaive. Kingsglaive was a much worse Final Fantasy movie. So I guess if you compare it to that, that's good. Apparently, all pictures are made with copper at one point, then they required nickel to get faster frame rates, which is the birth of the term Nickelodeon. I thought a Nickelodeon was a term for a movie theater where it cost a nickel to see a movie. So I guess somebody just told me that lie at some point in my life.
Yeah, you're just...
The ability to alter your tip size is key. That reminds me of the food cold smokers, trying to convince people it's for cold smoking things, not hotboxing me. Gravity feeds clog less, at least that's what all my friends who have airbrushes say. Oh no, that's the real thing, I was just lying. Got 6! Okay, so the Nickelodeon, so, okay.
Oh, I love that.
Alright. You know, I'm glad you didn't win the giveaway today.
Oh, dang!
You know what? Well, maybe I'll just disqualify you for the rest of the week. Forgot about Kingsglaive, that had so much potential. A lot of Final Fantasy media had so much potential. Final Fantasy 15 had some incredible high points, and I'm very happy I played through it because of that. But I feel like Square Enix gets in its own way a lot of the time.
And I haven't even started on the weapons yet.
I mean, we got time. We also don't have to finish it on stream. We just have to finish it by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not going to. That I can do. On stream, maybe not.
Disqualify him this week? Isn't he disqualified every week? Well, I guess there is only one day left in the week. Granted, there's going to be a lot of giveaways tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we've got the 2 Hellscape resin giveaways. And then we've got 4 like secret objective side quest giveaways, I think. I looked into my ring light for a bit, and now there's just like this dark black ring anywhere I try to focus my eyesight, and it's really annoying.
Womp womp.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. Pretty sure it was 8. Ha! Well, here's the thing. So, the surprise giveaways are coming from, like, some other companies and stuff that we're partnering with. And we were asking, like, hey, do you want to, like, give away one thing? And so far, 2 of them have been like, do you want to give away, like, 10 things instead? And I'm just like, we would like to. I don't know if we got the time to give away that many things. But, yeah. I'll have to order the... Was that?
One giveaway where you just roll 10 names.
I guess we could theoretically. Then it becomes a thing of like we have to contact all 10 of those people, and so that's the thing. Like if it's gonna be too hard to.
I'm gonna, from having done the giveaways from the beginning of time until the end of my time, there were several giveaways one week during the Kickstarter. I think like there was one day where we genuinely gave away like 6 or 7 things, and yeah, it's hard, but I believe in you. They
were spread out over the time. What I mean is like if we literally roll like 10 in a row, it's like then getting the messages to each of those people and sorting through it all. Although I guess we'll have both you and me there, so it can help with splitting up the responsibilities.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not a psychic or anything, but I'm feeling 6 clubs has a real good chance tomorrow. See, I have a better chance tomorrow than I'll have to figure that out with Nate after the stream. We'll go over all the final details. But you could roll 2 or 3 for each instead of all 10 at once. We could see. We don't want to, man. It's gonna be good stuff. Man up, you can do it. All right. I don't want anybody to like. I don't want to roll somebody and then it slips through the cracks and. Yeah. We can do it. We'll just have to write it all down so we can check in on everybody. Yeah. We'll just need to document everything carefully, which is possible. So much going on tomorrow. It's just we would love good things sent to us. We like care packages. We could have them contact you too. We could. Then that creates the possibility that somebody could pretend to be somebody else, but what are the odds? Some of it's... It'll be alright. It'll be alright. Well, it'll be alright. Don't worry about it. We got it. Reaper did time giveaways in their Discord. You react to the message and then a bot picks the winners. You could. It's not picking them that's hard. We know we can get the names. It's just then making sure that we follow up on everything. But I think it's doable. Man.
You'll figure out tomorrow, audience.
Yeah. You could be pro Fortnite gamers.
Hamster, question.
Yo.
How do you do blonde hair on Mini that has 10 skin?
You mean like it looks too close to the tan?
Yeah. Well, should tan be darker?
Yeah, either make the tan a little darker or make the blonde like almost white, like pale yellow. Instead of like corn yellow, you know?
Corn yellow. My favorite.
Up there with school bus yellow, huh?
Beep beep.
Hey! The person that was asking about the coupon code earlier, Chuck just found their coupon code. He solved it that fast.
Nice.
Literally during the stream. And you didn't even look at the email, Hamster.
I'm a little busy.
Chuck took care of it all before you even tried. They came to you for help.
You're new on customer service. You had plenty of time to do it, and yeah, you failed. But you're lucky that somebody else was able to.
All right. Yep. Next stream, next Thursday, customer service stream.
Yeah, you know,
live stream.
Just come here with your problems and just have Hamster. Just have Hamster answer them right then and there.
It's Hamster's hotline thing.
I feel that I am loved by Chuck after having been dissed live here. I was sad for a moment. Well, at least somebody took care of you, Akira.
It was Akira, and we didn't help him immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're all gonna get fired, you guys.
I know. I love their movie, and we really let them down.
Yeah, their movie is the only anime I've seen besides Cowboy Bebop, so I...
Really?
Very important. Yeah.
Hamster, have you watched Evangelion yet?
No, I haven't been watching TV. I've been obsessively playing Escape from Tarkov.
Okay. You could be playing anything else. You're playing Escape from Tarkov.
Yes, it is impossible and frustrating, so I must be good at it. Or try to be.
Miles and I have been playing Valheim basically like every
that
night.
looks fun.
I wasn't sure if I was going to like it at first because I was like, it's another one of these.
Yeah.
Because my group of friends, we go through so many like crafting survival games like to hang out in. And so we were working on Fallout 76, we were working on Raft, and then suddenly Nicola, who is the one of the group who likes the actual crafting survival genre the most, got really into Valheim, and he started playing that instead. And it's like, but we're working on these other games right now. And Band of Badgers, thank you for the raid.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Just looking at the quantities of something, and there's only one left. Which set is it? Or do you not want to tell anybody? Evangelion on TV? Are they doing reruns? Yeah, they're doing an Evangelion live action. Did you not hear about it? They're not. I hope they don't. Evangelion would not work in live action. Then again, most of the things that they've been doing in live action wouldn't work in live action. Oh man, I'm trying to imagine like all of the trying to imagine how they'd get away with some of it.
All the angels are just people in cardboard suits.
Yeah, it's just a guy. Oh, they do like the really early Godzilla movie like practical effects tricks for the angels.
Yeah.
Get in the CGI robot, Shinji. Recycle that animation, Shinji. Power Ranger style.
So they're just going to do the like the tiny city and have them in suits as the robots.
Yeah. Shinji, get to the soundstage. Speaking of Godzilla, Shin Godzilla is basically live-action Evangelion. Kind of. They were both concerned with saving the planet. Shin Godzilla was just much more about saving the planet environmentally. Whereas Evangelion is about saving the planet with love.
It was written by the same people, right? But it's not at all similar.
Was it?
I know there was a big connection between the two.
Was it the same people?
Pretty sure, yeah.
No way! What? No wonder Shin Godzilla is good.
It's also, I like it because it's like the same theme as the original Godzilla, where it's not just two monsters fighting, but it's like a metaphor for an environment.
Yeah. Well, because the original Godzilla, like, actually, like, had a point. Like, the original Godzilla wasn't just like, hey, lizard fight. Like,
I love the fact that they made that was essentially right after the bomb, like the bomb, and that's them like trying to tell a story about it, and they just like, hey, let's just make it about a giant monster. That's why they just made it into and then became a thing.
That's so good. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was the same people. I didn't know that Hideaki Anno did both of them. I knew that he did Evangelion because I read like interviews with him, and I think he's fascinating. And just like the fact that Evangelion was like written from the point of view that it was. I need to not say much because I do want Hamster to watch it, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Ooh.
But like his approach to what he wants to do with his storytelling. Yes, Cat. The reason why he made Evangelion and like what was going through his mind and like his whole approach to it and everything, like that's not something that I feel happens with like anime very often. And it's it's partially why Evangelion is like such a unique show in the first place, and it's a deconstruction, which I feel like those are more common now than they were back then. But like, it's I don't know. I find him fascinating. No idea that was no idea he did Shin Godzilla, but it makes a lot of sense. Let them fight. Let who fight? Google Michael Bay's Evangelion. Oh no. My 5-year-old twins love Shin Godzilla. I feel like any of the Godzilla movies will be appealing to a child, just from the concept. That's very cool. Eva's super good. I'm speaking as somebody who read the manga rather than watch the anime, though. Here's the thing: I am surprised that people don't like the ending of Evangelion, because like I watched it all the way through in like 3 days, and then went to like talk about it, and I was like super hype like off of it. I was super depressed, but I was super hype off of it, and yeah, like the ending, like the way that series concludes was like a thing where I'm like, man, like I want to be able to do this with the stuff that I make, like I want to be able to do this kind of more abstract stuff, because like I don't know, I thought it was like really, really powerful. Apparently people hated it.
And don't like that all the movies are like and stuff afterwards is essentially just trying to rewrite the ending because to make them happy, right?
Yeah, and the funniest thing about it to me is like we're drawing the Godzilla connection. It reminds me of how when Godzilla was initially made, if you look at the Japanese and the American cuts of the first Godzilla movie, they're wildly different movies, because the Japanese version is like, hey, here's a movie with like a point that's like talking about like our like a big national fear at the moment, and like the mental state of like the country, like this like super like interesting thing. And then like they did the American cut and they were like, yeah, that's a really good movie. However, we think it would do better if we took out all the stuff that made it such a good movie and we just made it like oh man, that's a big lizard, like,
and just insert a white guy.
Yeah, literally inserted a character and tried to reframe the entire narrative. But I feel like, yeah, like the concept of like, well, I guess we got to redo the ending to Evangelion. It's like, but that it all paid off because of the way they wrapped up that series. Like that was I don't know. It was weird. It was weird to me.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid, and we watched the dub of old Godzilla, and I didn't know about movies. I was a really little kid, but I just remember a baby in a park on a blanket, actual infant, toddler, looking up and seeing Godzilla, and the dubbed voice said, "What is that thing?" And it was like a grown adult.
Bye, Odin Forge. Thanks for hanging out.
See ya, Odin.
Enjoyed the ending a lot. If you like that kind of stuff, you should read some books by Haruki Murakami. Dude, Murakami's great. Chelsea's really into Murakami, so I've read Murakami because she recommended it. Murakami stuff I would recommend that to anybody, honestly. Murakami, like, Murakami stuff is very good. There's a moment at Anime Expo where he was asked about the way Evangelion ended. His reply was, "Too bad." Oh, man. Read 1Q84 and got hooked on his works. That was the first... No, that was the second one she read. She was already into Murakami. No, I think 1Q84 is where it started. And I got her... What was the one... Because he did one... It was... I'm trying to remember the name of the one I bought for her. It was... Where is it? It was a short story collection. Men Without Women. Men Without Women is also very good. It's been years. I should reread. It's been a long time. There's a bunch of thought-provoking anime that came out at that time. Akira, Key the Metal Idol, Serial Experiments, and others. Yeah, Akira is so good. I want to read the manga of Akira, just because when I saw the actual manga collection of Akira at a store, and I saw how long it actually was, how many books there are, and then I found out that like apparently the movie is actually just a very small section of the stuff that happens in the manga, and in the manga like the main character is actually like the policeman and like all this stuff. Like I want to read that whole manga and like see like everything that was actually initially going on in that story. Kafka on the Shore? Not Kafka on the Shore. I haven't read that one yet. Is 1Q84 and Evangelion by the same person? No, they're not, no. But they just recommended Murakami's books if you like Anno's movies and shows. It's like trying to watch / read Naruto. So many. Yeah, a lot of shonen has an issue with, and I think it's not a secret, but shonen, generally speaking, is made to kind of fill. There's a lot of filler. It's generally like the heavily commercialized like.
What? There's a lot of filler. I watched all of Naruto and didn't notice one.
In a shonen, I didn't notice a single episode of filler in Naruto.
Yeah.
Definitely not more filler than non-filler in Naruto. But there's a couple that do they consider is Fullmetal Alchemist considered a shonen?
I assume so.
It was published in a shonen, wasn't it? Because I feel like that one doesn't actually go on terribly long. I feel like it is a shonen. I think that's one of the shonen where I never feel like it's I never feel like it's bloated, especially Brotherhood. Brotherhood specifically, like I feel like it's a very tightly paced story the whole way through, and it's very good the whole way through.
I
Like
need to
it
give
like
myself watch more Brotherhood. I watched the whole original series, then I can't.
it's so
keep
so
trying to
good.
watch Brotherhood and keep getting stuck on where the story's the same. But,
Well,
yeah.
well that's the funny thing is, so the initial anime series started while the manga was still fairly early on,
Yeah.
and so they got to the part where they caught up on the manga, and then instead of asking her what was going to happen in the rest of the manga and like working with her on the story, they just took what they understood from the first, like from that first stretch, and then just kind of decided what should happen. So after a while, it's just it's a completely different show, like altogether.
Yeah.
And then Brotherhood was made after the manga was finished, and they actually worked with her on it and all that. And so it's I would say Brotherhood is the better show for sure.
Yeah.
The original is still good, but like, yeah. I came here for dwarves and forges. You found them. Man, I like how we spent the last like 20 minutes talking about anime. I'm very excited though. I go for the classics like Akira. I haven't seen Vampire Hunter D. Or what's that? King of the Hill is my favorite anime.
Pouring the House is my favorite anime.
I'm afraid of watching Grave of the Fireflies.
If I need to cry, that's what I watch.
Grave of the
I
Fireflies?
haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but I've been meaning to watch that one.
I'm afraid of watching it because I'm afraid of what it's gonna do to me. But like, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Chelsea just got into Miyazaki movies. She'd never seen one before, and then she watched Totoro a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I still haven't seen Totoro either, but like Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, and Ponyo. Oh, and Princess Mononoke are all like in my top 30.
I was gonna say Mononoke is one of my favorites. I like
It's so
Nausicaa.
good.
I like Nausicaa a lot.
I like the
Um,
raccoon one too.
What about Castle in the Sky? That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Castle in the Sky is good. I wanted to watch Mononoke because it was funny when she made her D&D character. Initially, I thought that she was taking inspiration from Mononoke, but then I found out she'd never seen a Miyazaki movie, and I was like, "You need to watch Mononoke just so you can see like that you're basically playing Mononoke, like in with your druid." It's very good. I'm afraid of her watching Howl's Moving Castle because I think she'll just, I think she'll just fall in love with Howl.
It's an honest fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, my coffee holder thing.
Wrath versus the Tank is amazing. There's a lot of good fights. My favorite moment in Fullmetal Alchemist is probably Mustang having cauterized his own wound shut, standing there with a lighter and like burning Lust to death. Is just such a phenomenal moment. Propane Genesis Evangelion. I've seen that. That's a very good it's a very good thing. It's a good meme. Pretty much everything with Mustang and Hawkeye is really good. I Mustang and Hawkeye are my favorite characters in Fullmetal Alchemist, I think. But man, when Armstrong meets their teacher's husband, the other like really buff guy, and they have like their muscle greeting, that's really good. Just a good show. Good show. All right, thanks for coming by, Akira. Make sure you come by tomorrow so you can win the win a Shamrock Shake.
Woo!
I almost genuinely want to do that. Like, can we just like get like a digital McDonald's gift card and give it away at the game as a joke? Just like we're giving away like a bunch of D&D related stuff. And
Just
just,
don't tell Nate. He's
McDonald's.
like, "What is this? It's a hobby hang inside joke. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, it's just a $5 McDonald's gift card. Don't worry about it.
You know, it's called the April Fools we did like 4 years ago, where it's like, yeah, we're doing Happy Meals.
Yeah.
It was like Ronald McDonald's as a mini and like a Grimace floor that has just Grimace's face on it.
Armstrong's sister Olivia is one of my favorite. Olivia Armstrong is also extremely good. Yeah. Like, I don't know if there are characters that I don't like in the show. I didn't like Ling for a little bit, but then I came around to him.
Ling?
Ling.
I think not Zelda.
No, not Zelda. Ling. The Adventure of Ling. Oh.
A Link Between Worlds.
A Link Between Worlds kind of makes sense for one of the scenes, actually. Need to share this in case.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay, I need to share this in case everyone hasn't seen this, even though I'm late. Has anyone seen the video I Can Only Count to 4, a parody of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? I have
No.
not seen that.
Oh no.
I know that I'm very familiar with the song though. My stepdad was obsessed with it. So which is a little concerning in retrospect. But so I haven't heard of that. Oh, it's Psycho Stick. Okay. I got to see Princess Mononoke when it first hit theaters in '97. It was amazing getting to see anime in the theater for the first time. Dude, I would love to see Miyazaki in a theater. There's got to be a theater in New York that does Miyazaki,
yeah.
shit, right?
I watched
In the East Village, they have Miyazaki Month, where they show Miyazaki movies for an entire month. Hence
Which-
the name Miyazaki Month.
Which month do they pick for that?
I remember it being in July or August.
Hopefully it's safe to go to movie theaters by then.
I thought you
I would love
that
I'd love to do
noise
that.
was me burping. It really freaked me out.
Wait, you're like, am I burping right now?
It's like, why can't I hold back this noise? What's going on?
That's funny.
Sorry.
To be honest, I love that Full Metal Alchemist. Actually portrays what it's like to be disabled and rely on mobility aids. Yeah, that's another thing that's really cool about it. Is that is a show where you've got a lot of people who have taken injuries and lost. A lot of that show also just deals with like what your relationship to your body actually is, which I always find fascinating. Which is usually something that's explored in like some mech animes. Evangelion kind of explores that a bit as well. But yeah, with Full Metal Alchemist, like specifically, like there's people who have like suffered all kinds of injuries, but they never become incapable of like contributing to things or like being like a useful character. Like it's very good. What's up?
One of the main characters lost an entire body and is still functional.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, Full Metal, like it doesn't look at people who have taken those injuries as like incapable.
Oh, that's right. I thought you were saying like it was portraying.
No, they're saying they appreciate that like Full Metal is like a really good portrayal of people, of people who have to use like mobility aids and stuff like that. Yeah. Alamo Drafthouse does that regularly. Oh man. Honestly, I like the Alamo Drafthouse a lot. One of my friends, Will, he hates the Alamo Drafthouse.
What?
He thinks it's so. Here's the thing. So he lives out in the Midwest. There's like nobody around, and so to him, the Alamo Drafthouse is where you're trying to watch a movie, but it's too noisy and it's annoying, and there's all these distractions from you watching the movie. The thing that I think this comes from is if you try to go to a regular movie theater in New York, it's going to be loud throughout the whole movie. Like, we've had so many bad experiences of going to like an AMC or something in New York,
Yeah.
and just like people will not shut up. Like, I one of the angriest I've ever seen one of my friends was when we went to see Batman vs Superman, and we had a group of 4 people behind us who literally were just on their phones and talking to people the entire movie. And it was like a packed theater, and it's like, yeah, like talking to people on the phone and like talking to each other about what the people on the phone said, and it was just an awful experience. So the Alamo Drafthouse is where I can rely on it being quiet during a movie because they throw you out if you talk. Like,
to be fair though, I think that adds to the experience of Batman vs Superman because that movie was bad.
it was pretty bad, yeah. But still, it'd be nice if I could at least appreciate the movies. I wish the experience was bad just on the movie's merits and not from the audience.
You didn't know it was bad then.
No, we did.
Oh, then
Every time a line got through, it was like, oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh. I would love for theaters to just be open again. Yeah, but I also am not going to prioritize. You went to see A Quiet Place and people wouldn't shut up? That's the worst movie to go to and not shut up. That's the entire point. The entire point of that movie is to build tension out of there being no... say what you want about the movie, it uses silence. If you're talking through the movie, you're ruining the entire point of it. Some conventions in Sweden that has had movie theaters on the grounds have done non-stop Miyazaki movies during them. It's super nice to go spend an entire day just watching Miyazaki movies with no commercials between. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I really want to see Miyazaki in theaters just to see that animation on that big of a screen. Would be incredible. What other ones do I like? I told her she should watch Kiki's Delivery Service as well. I feel like Kiki's Delivery Service will be really good for her because it heavily features a cat. Also, Spirited Away, I think, is one that nobody could have a problem with ever. I think Spirited Away is usually looked at as his best movie.
Ooh,
Very
that's
good.
not true. I've heard a lot of positive and then also a lot of negative about Spirited Away. I think that there's a certain threshold for people in order to enjoy it. It's a great movie, but I do think that it's not meant for everyone. But not everyone's some people are dumb. That's just how it is.
That's interesting. Spirited Away is usually the one that I see, whenever people make top movies lists, Spirited Away is usually the Miyazaki movie that's on there.
Oh no, it's definitely good, and I a lot of film people love it, but I've also met a lot of people where it's oh, this is an easy entrance to anime and everything, and they just hate it.
That's also
that just sounds like their own personal hangups.
I mean,
well, they it's not even an anime thing. It probably is their own personal hangups, but I think that it if people aren't used to bizarre stuff, it can be kind of hard for them to get into, which again you could blame on their personal hangups, but it's also probably the easiest Hayao Miyazaki movie. But
I mean,
I've
met a lot of people that hate it.
But there's other things. Anime is not just a genre. It's a whole set of genres. It's not just one thing. So you can't just have one thing as an introduction. If it's not their personal cup of tea, it's hard to. I always find it hard to introduce anime because I don't know what their genres is. I can't just be oh, here's a starter anime.
Generally speaking, for every person, whatever their taste is, if you know their taste in other shows, if you know their taste in Western TV and stuff fairly well, you can find an anime that captures the kind of stuff that they're looking for. Cowboy Bebop is nothing it's really not that much like Full Metal, honestly, which is nothing like Oran Host Club, there's a lot of stuff that you can
you should do.
I don't know.
It's the intro audios for the song. So during the Cowboy Bebop, you're just singing "Kiss Kiss Fall in Love."
Cowboy Bebop, but it's just the Haruhi Suzumiya opening. But it's all the Bebop characters doing the dance from Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yeah.
How's the Mononoke my top? But, so that's the thing though. That's what I mean. Is like everybody will have their own favorite Spirited or their own favorite music. Everybody will have their own favorite Spirited Away movie. Everybody will have their own favorite like Miyazaki because even Miyazaki's films, even Miyazaki's films, like Mononoke is like dark in a way that like most of the rest of Miyazaki's movies are not. Like you can't like you can't just like say like if you like one like Miyazaki movie you're gonna like them all because like they are different. Not just in like quality, but like in the genre, in the kind of stuff that they're trying to do. Howl's Moving Castle is very good though. Howl's Moving Castle. I feel like Howl's Moving Castle is cheating for anybody who can be attracted to men. Honestly. I feel like Howl as a character is just too charismatic and it's not fair. I think that's the main problem.
I think that Ponyo is also a really easy entry point. Not that, like, well, you know, like, not all Miyazaki is gonna be for everyone, and maybe one's great and the other one doesn't really hit with some people, but I think Ponyo is, like, because it's a kid's movie, and make it kind of like an easy entrance and everything.
Ponyo's one of the only ones that, like, I don't enjoy that much, and it's just because I don't like Ponyo's voice.
A lot of people
like,
actually really hated Ponyo too.
Like like the movie itself is fine. It's just personally that voice just annoys me.
Is it Dakota
that's really
Fanning?
I think so. And then I think the boy is like Miley Cyrus's younger brother or something.
Noah. No, that's her sister.
It's either that or he's like he's the fourth Jonas brother or something like that. He was somebody famous's brother, is what I remember.
Okay.
Ooh, Trigun's really good too. Trigun's fun. Trigun is one of Tyler's favorite animes, actually. Vash the Stampede.
Today about Trigun.
Yeah, Vash the Stampede's one of his favorite characters. He loves Trigun. Anyone watch any Makoto Shinkai or Mamoru Hosoda? I feel like I've seen Shinkai. What did Shinkai do? Makoto Shinkai's name is familiar, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, or maybe it's just that... Is Makoto Shinkai the one that, like... I know that all anime, generally speaking, animates the food to look beautiful, but is Makoto Shinkai the one that is, like, specifically really well known for just, like, really good-looking food? Because that might be where I know it from, is Satchel Drakes did, like, he does, like, anime appreciation posts where he just, like, posts, like, hey, here's like, a frame from an anime of, like, some ramen with, like, an egg on it, and, like, the egg looks moist, and, like, all of it is just, like, beautiful. Really gorgeous backgrounds and environments. I think that's what it is. I think I haven't actually seen one of Makoto Shinkai's movies, but I've seen a lot of frames from them, and a lot of people, like, posting, like, imagery from Makoto Shinkai's movies and talking about, like, how beautiful it is. I recently rewatched a lot of the Macross series. I've never seen Macross. It's something I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually seen it.
I think I tried watching one. I don't remember.
I recently watched the first season of One Punch Man in one sitting. That was fun. I really want to watch Mob Psycho 100.
I tried Mob Psycho. I just couldn't get into it. It was like so like humor sense was completely different. I felt
it's a weird. The guy that does One Punch Man and Mob Psycho has a very weird sense of humor, at least from what I gathered from One Punch Man, and is also like he also does like very subversive stuff. Enjoyed that cyberpunk anime Akudama Drive. I haven't heard of it actually. Fanning was in Totoro. Dakota Fanning was in Totoro, apparently.
Okay.
Did any of you see Lane? I have not. Man, apparently a lot of our chat watches anime.
I need to try Lane again. I was recommended right at the very beginning of me getting into anime, and I don't think that was a good starting point, but
Man, Hamster's really going in on the shading on this mini.
It's time for colors.
Yeah, it looks like that. That looks like if you put that up to like human size, that looks like a sculpture that you could put up in a museum or something. I feel like giving you the dwarf was the right idea.
Oh yeah.
Big shocker, nerds that love toys watch anime.
I love dwarves. They're my first miniature fantasy love.
Yeah. I highly recommend Macross if you like music and mecha anime with some drama and
Wait.
romance added.
Okay, I definitely did watch one of them then.
Yeah. Oh,
Was
and the
it-
whole we're constantly under threat of extinction / getting killed by aliens.
It was like idols, and then there was mechs for some reason. I mean, not for some reason. Obviously, that's the thing. But
I just need Hamster to watch Evangelion so I can be there for him when he's sad.
I even said to you, like, you were talking about just how, like, horribly sad it was. I was like, I need to feel something.
You're like, I
So,
need that right now.
I
Hang on.
have that in the chamber when I really need, like, a catharsis. I'll deploy it.
Yeah, it is a heavy show, but it's very good. I'm gonna try and find the actual conversations. Yep, okay, here it is. Yeah, because I mentioned it on the meeting when we got back. Yeah, our first meeting back, I mentioned that like that's what I had done during the break, because I'd watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. And I mentioned that it was like depressing, and you messaged me, what was the name of the show you watched over the holiday? I could use a dose of feelings, haha. But yeah. This is replacing my intermittent need to watch Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
the closest thing I could think of that seemed appropriate.
I still have a Serial Experiments Lane wall scroll somewhere. I've never heard of this. Ghost in the Shell's really good, yeah. Ghost in the Shell's a classic. Like that's something I think that genuinely should be taught in like film courses. Bow, 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 bow. Wub, 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 wub. Okay, cool. Nate just emailed all the players regarding a specific thing we need to know after we did the room planning session yesterday. Don't forget writing Bean. You haven't heard of Lane because Pioneer went out of business and the company that got the license just shelved it and wouldn't release it to DVD/streaming. Why get the license then? I don't understand. Why do people acquire properties just to kill them?
it's like when
Toby-
What?
Toby, does your shirt have the print of that like really famous Japanese like scroll painting?
Yeah,
The big wave with the ship in it?
yeah. I started getting that for like I had that for one thing, and then it just overall became a meme for me. Like, want to see my Switch?
Wait, did you put a decal of that on your Switch?
No,
Oh
I
my
got
god.
my Joy-Cons started drifting, so I bought new Joy-Cons, and I found a person on eBay who does custom Joy-Cons.
That's sweet.
Nice.
It's like this. Yeah, and
Dude,
and my laptop cover is fine.
Did you see the Zelda Joy-Cons that they announced at the
Yeah.
That looks really good.
I wish they were gold because they used to do all these gold Zelda controllers, but those look
Dude,
cool.
the gold Wiimote was so cool.
And I had
The
the
best
gold.
the best part of Skyward Sword was the gold Wiimote, honestly.
I had that, and I also had the gold, the N64 controller.
Yeah. Yeah, X4 controller was good. Man, Majora's Mask, I have the gold cartridge of Majora's Mask. Like, yeah, for a while, like, gold was, like, the Zelda thing.
Even the original Zelda game, right?
Yeah, they did it. They did a gold cart for NES Zelda, too. Man, for Pokemon Stadium 2, because it was gold and silver, I have an N64 cart that is half gold and half silver.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
Wait,
thought
did
that
you
was
say-
cute. Zelda 2 was the gold one? That's
Hmm.
possible. Looking forward to playing Skyward Sword this summer. I'm nervous to see if they fix any of the issues that I had with it, I think.
I mean, what were your issues? Were they big issues or were they small issues? Because if they're big,
They were big. There was like some irritation with the control scheme for me, but like it wasn't that big of a deal. For me, it's mostly like the structure of the game. I just didn't like very much. I wasn't very engaged with it.
I mean, they're not going to really change that, the structure of the game. So
Maybe. I mean, they did with Wind Waker. They took out the Triforce hunt,
that's
or
true.
they shortened it, and they added the speed sail. Like they made some quality of life increases for Wind Waker.
That is
so-
very forgot about that.
There's a couple sections in Skyward Sword that are pretty universally, even people who like the game are generally like, yeah, they really didn't need to have this in here. Where like, are they going to address those, or is it going to be just, you know, it's not just the backtracking though. For me, like, a lot of it stems from Fi, and it's mostly that they do a thing where a lot of the times you'll walk into a puzzle room, and it'll show you the puzzle, and then Fi will just tell you the answer to the puzzle. And so then you just have to, like, do the solution that Fi pointed out for you. And it's like, well, that's disappointing. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of... there is good stuff in the game, but I feel like they do a lot of things that kind of get in the way of you playing it.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But, I don't know.
This is there.
But it's beautiful, and for a lot of people, like, it's got some fun character work.
And Groose is there, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great game.
Reason behind that is this: video games hold your hand now. But I also don't blame them, because I've also seen a lot of games that I really like that get torn apart because people don't... The Last Guardian got, like, crucified by a lot of people. They're saying, like, oh, the controls don't make any sense, or they're too difficult, they don't explain how it works. And when The Last Guardian came out, I was very excited about it. It was one of the situations where genuinely, like, I got it on launch. I had ordered, like, the collector's edition. I have the collector's statue on my bookshelf back there, but like I that's all I did for a couple days. Like I kind of plugged out, and I, you know, played through it, and I thought it was like just an incredibly innovative and like interesting game. I loved it. And then everybody was saying like, oh, it was too hard to control. And I've watched some of it. Like you watch like the Game Grumps play it, and it's like you just... I think it's become a thing now where everybody understands that the Game Grumps are just bad at playing games. So it's like not a...
That's their whole thing.
Yeah, but like then when it becomes like oh, this game's bad because they couldn't figure out, it's like, I think you just might not be good at figuring it out. But it becomes
No,
like a
they're
whole
just
thing,
kinda
right? It's like,
Dumb.
yeah.
Like loving, I don't really watch them anymore because I found out some stuff about them that I'm not too happy about. But they're
Yeah.
lovable dummies, and that's the whole point of watching them.
It's just frustrating specifically, and it would be fine if it was a thing like that guy from VentureBeat that was struggling with the tutorial of Cuphead, and he like posted like footage of it, and it was to make fun of himself for how bad he was. I don't care about that. Like whatever. That's fun. Like everybody. That's whatever. It's when it gets into a thing of like this game is badly designed because I'm bad at it, is where it gets weird. And it accessibility is like a whole discussion around it, right? Like, should a game be able to be easily played and understood by everybody? And then how do you control for that if the answer is yes? You know?
Levels like hard, medium, easy mode.
But even outside of that, like you can't really do you can't do difficulty levels with The Last Guardian with the way that it's set up. Like, it's not that it's like a combat difficulty thing. So like I never think it's a problem. Like when they added easy, like casual modes to Fire Emblem and stuff like that, like I don't think that's a problem because you can just choose not to play those modes, like whatever. But with stuff like Last Guardian, like, I don't know. I guess it's the thing is like, is something bad if it's niche? Because there's also like a thing with like Shenmue 3 when it came out. There's a video about how Shenmue 3 is this awful, disappointing game. And that video has more views than Shenmue 3 sold copies. Because Shenmue is a niche series that's meant for like the niche audience that likes it. And so all these people who are like, it's so outdated, it's like, that was the point. Like, the point is that there are people who like games that feel like this. And like that, and so they wanted to preserve the feeling of the original Shenmues instead of updating it to feel like a modern game. And so when it got shredded for that, and all these bad scores, they're like, yeah, it failed as a game because it's so clunky. It's like, but that's what the people who like the series wanted. So like, what? I don't know.
To be fair, though, the people who like the series probably wouldn't be off-put by those reviews. If it's trying to be niche, it's probably already hitting their audience.
I guess, I don't know. It's a weird thing. And I think a lot of it just comes down to I don't like reviewer culture in general, specifically on YouTube. I feel like it lends itself into toxicity and just like being negative and like tearing a game apart, generally speaking, will get you a lot more views than making positive content. And so I think there's a lot of people who tear things apart and will tear them apart in ways that could actually be like, dude, if somebody like worked really hard on this game and then they see like this video like where you're taking glee and like talking about how awful this thing is, I don't know. I when I was a kid, like I thought that stuff was really fun, like, and I was really into reviewers who like, and I guess it made me feel smart. I don't know, but like, I don't know. I don't find value in that anymore, I guess. It's weird to think about, like, how would the people who made this feel? I feel like there's a way to, like, to critique something and talk about, like, the parts of something that don't work very well without saying it in a way that feels that, like, it would make them feel like they're bad people for making something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do get casual mode more now. My partner writes about games and likes the easy mode as a way to pause and take notes. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, if you can accommodate as many people as possible without sacrificing what your game's about, that's great. Casual modes, easy modes, story modes, who cares? Like go ahead. If people want that, if it means more people can play it, it's only a good thing. Like, it's not like it's sacrificing the integrity. It's when it gets into like the design decisions where it's like, okay, it's like what people have been saying about making like an easy mode for Dark Souls. The weird thing about Dark Souls is that all the difficulty comes from mechanics. So it's not like a more straightforward RPG where it's purely about the numbers. Like, how much can you actually adjust a Souls game to make it more accessible? And that's where it gets harder. Like, when you get into like mechanical stuff, it's a lot harder to figure out what an easy mode would look like. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting example too, because like part of what was rewarding to me about playing Dark Souls is that, like, yeah, your character's numbers level up, but you feel like you level up too because you start to get better at identifying the patterns of the bosses, and like there's a reward in that, like getting over the skill ceiling, this learning curve.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and like it's why some, like, because that's the thing with Dark Souls is like, it does not matter how good or bad your stats are. You can play through the entire game at level 1 if you want.
Right.
You just have to be good at the mechanics. And you could be at level 99 and it'll make things easier, sure. But you're still going to struggle if you can't learn the mechanics. And so I don't know. Adjusting like the difficulty of something like Fire Emblem is easier because you just change the numbers, you just change the stats, and you change like the amount of enemies that come in and stuff like that. That's a fairly easy thing to like scale up and down difficulty wise. With Dark Souls, it's like you would have to find a way to scale the mechanics up and down. So like, would you add invincibility frames or something? Like it's a much more difficult thing to adjust the difficulty of than an RPG, a straight RPG, I guess. One of the things that many developers often forget is that while their product is their baby, if they're planning to make actual money, they have to give the consumers what they want instead of shipping incomplete products and quit screwing with the product mid-post release. Constant nerfing, screwing around something that people already enjoy. The thing is, I don't think that's the developers most of the time. I think that usually happens because of the studio that has hired the developers. Usually, they're the ones who are setting the dates and pushing for a release. There are cases where that isn't what happens, but like the case of Mass Effect Andromeda, I feel bad for those developers. I don't think it's the developers' fault that the game came out the way it did, because remember how the release date was suddenly like moved up like 6 months or something like that? The developers aren't the ones who decided to do that. The publisher was. And like when the game released unfinished like that and with all those bugs, there's no way that's what the developers wanted to do. Like, I don't know. Let's give the players more reaction time, slower monster attacks. That is one thing. It's possible. It's just it's a way harder thing to while it's doable technically, I think it takes away a lot of what makes the game itself. And that's also the thing with Dark Souls, is it's not like Dark Souls has like a really deep, enriching story for you to. There's not like a ton of cutscenes and everything. Like the point of Dark Souls is mastering those mechanics. So if you do water down if you do like make it so you don't have to master the mechanics, would it be a game that you would want to be able to walk through? Because there's not really a lot to see story-wise. It's all like environmental storytelling. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting discussion. But I think it's more complicated than people realize it is sometimes. Because even when you're talking about like adjusting reaction time and all that, I don't think the release date was moved up. I think they announced a delay, but EA rejected it. But I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they had a release date, and then they suddenly announced that it was going to be an earlier release date. I remember that happening with Andromeda. It was a while back. But either way, yeah, like there's a lot of.
What?
What's up?
Sorry.
What did you say?
I didn't know that you were. I said, are you done, Toby?
I think I'm done. I can do all the
Sorry,
details.
Chris.
Yeah. I was getting back with
Let's
Harvest
see.
Summer.
Yeah. The axe fell off, but I'll glue it back on. I get a chance.
We're gonna go back on tomorrow. We'll have all day tomorrow to make little adjustments and such.
Oh, nice. He looks like an ice climber.
A blonde dwarf. You still have the lizard man.
Yeah, I still had it on there.
Cool.
Yeah. And the axe I painted, silver. This year.
Okay. We
But
can
one
we can glue that tomorrow. That won't be a problem.
Is there anything like? Maybe if I know more about the character, I can like do something on his cape or something. Tell me more.
I think it's a cape of protection. Yeah, it's a cloak of protection. But it doesn't have any like real. Doesn't have any like descriptive flavor to it. It's mostly just got a mechanic description.
But how about him?
He's all that he said was blonde, blue eyes, tan skin, and the cape should be red, a deep red. But like that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do here.
You could paint the base, the rim around the base red if you wanted.
I thought it was blue.
Hamster's blue.
Oops.
There you go.
Yeah, Hamster's blue, you're red, and Mace is green.
I got my green.
I don't know what colors are. Okay. Leave me alone.
So I was getting about with getting at about art versus commerce. If you can afford to be niche, that's one thing, but you're making a product. Yeah, and I think that's the. Well, with Shenmue in particular, like, if they made a Shenmue 4 that was like updated and played like a Yakuza game or something, like, would people buy that? The biggest difference is that most of your AAA video games lack story content, which makes a game feel like a $20 Steam game. Sometimes you find a $30 Steam game and it's 100% better than most AAA titles. That's another thing. Like, the length has very little, like, isn't always correlated with quality. And then, the price you pay isn't always tied to the quality either.
Wow. So the paint just sprayed out of the bottle and like sprayed all over, but like.
Is he covered in blood now?
No, the only part that got covered is the base I was going to repaint, and the axe was right there, but the paint just avoided it.
It'd be kind of cool if there was like blood dripping on the axe though.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. And it was.
Hamster, your values thing is insane.
Are you making him?
You.
Are you doing like a redhead over it after, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna touch it up some more. I don't know how much. I gotta decide what kind of redhead he is.
That's fair. I think having the yellow underneath makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the trick is to make something successful, then go weirder over time. It's the Pearl Jam approach. First album was a huge commercial success. Second, same. Then they just kind of started making what they wanted to. Remember when we were singing Pearl Jam on here, like 2 months ago?
Yeah. Yep.
I cannot get over the texture on that mini already.
Yeah, it's really
The
good.
cape and I don't even understand how you do something like that.
Well,
Yeah,
first,
it's what's making me kind of like, Chris, when you're in tomorrow, you're gonna help me do another lap on this mini. Sorry, Hamster, go on.
Well, first of all, you're not gonna see any of this in a build on camera under lighting. But also, I just didn't want to paint straight lines, so I did little stitchy lines instead, and it's just to hide my laziness.
Yeah, laziness is what I think of when I see this. Man. Oh, did we tell you that like his faith is Picorni?
Oh, and Nate told me in the office today when I picked it up.
Yeah, the cleric's faith is Picorni. Man. Please explain how you do that. Is it just thin layers of paints?
Honestly, the value sketching is thick paint because you want it to stay right where you put it. So it's not really thinned too much. I do have it on like a wet palette. And if it starts to dry on me, I'll might put a little moisture in there, but actually I started with black, I did a neutral gray, did sort of up to sort of an ivory, and that's all with pretty thick paint. And then I'm actually using inks, but you can use pretty much any paint that you thin. This is just like pretty much pre-thinned. But that is when you do more of a thin glaze over the top because you want your work to show from underneath. And then I'll do one more pass probably of just doing little spots of highlighting because it will knock it down quite a bit, the underpainting, so I'll bring back some of the highlights and call it good.
And you got a nice red nail there. That's an important part of the process.
Oh yeah, testing all the moisture levels on my finger.
My favorite is when you're painting runes and the mixture of paints that you're getting on your thumb made it look like it was like heavily bruised.
Oh. Yeah, it's takes a toll on me.
Embarrassed to ask, memory isn't what it used to be. What is everyone's name and backgrounds? Everyone of us or the minis? The real people or the miniature people?
Good
Rush
question.
is good. Rush is so good. Those are three of the most individually talented musicians I think we've had in the last like 100 years. It's unreal.
Whoa,
Real
that's a big statement.
Real people. I am Chris. I mostly do the Twitch stuff and then other random things.
And that's all the real people we have. Sorry.
Everyone else.
I'm Toby. I'm like, I guess, the techno master at the Forge. I just do a bunch of things like, R&D type of things, casting, LED stuff. I do some sculpting.
All the LED stuff. He's the one who figures out how to put lights and everything. He's been with the company the longest. He's
Like
a veteran.
all the special feature stuff and
No,
yeah.
Aaron and Nina were there before me. Oh, at loss. Okay. I forgot that we're not talking about the four of us. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm
Toby the Lightbringer.
the Lightbringer. Yes. I'm Hamster. I'm one of the painters. I specialize in miniatures, but Ruins and Wildlands was my first terrain sector that I did, which is cool. I resurrected the nickname Hamster from college because the more senior painter is also named Aaron. So I'm a Hamster here at the Forge.
I'm Mace, and I am an office manager, and I do stuff like social and customer service and other stuff too that I can't think of right now. But yeah,
Mace,
office.
Yeah. You didn't need to introduce yourself. We said not the mini people.
Not the mini. Oh,
probably
I'm so
the most
sorry.
miniature of the bunch, but Mace does a little bit of
How dare you.
everything. She just like came on
Yeah,
board
I wear
and
many hats.
yeah, she, like everyone was like didn't have bandwidth for like all the stuff that we wanted to do, and she just made it all possible by putting her finger in every jar.
That's really kind, and now we have very, very. Well, it's like I'm the only person that can eat from those jars. You
Right,
know?
right.
Like, I'm really claiming my territory.
Here's the thing. Yeah.
That's a nice thing to say.
Stream only exists because of Chris and Mace. Lights only exist because of Toby. Like without this crew right here, you guys, you would not have the awesome stuff that we have. So here, hype in the chat. What emotes do we have? Let's get some emotes in the chat for these. I'm gonna use my hamster.
Emotes,
My hamster.
foggers.
Wait, what is this one? Oh, warrior.
Can we get some foggers in chat?
Foggers in the chat.
Foggers.
Fog champ.
Fog
how'd y'all end
champ.
Fog champ. Yeah, let's go. How'd y'all end up working at Dwarven Forge?
Stroke of luck.
Heh, because you're a painter.
Oh, I didn't even actually
I'm
pun on
actually-
not intended, but that's good.
That's a good one. I actually did apply. So mine's a little bit. I guess you like everybody applied, but
I didn't apply.
mine was the last time we talked. You guys were talking about how it starts temporary and then it just grows into this like, all right, we need to keep you around what's going on. But I applied as a office assistant, which was a heavy need for a long time, and then grew from there. But yeah, you just get lucky and you look at Craigslist or have good friends at the right times.
I came in because they wanted to start doing build of the month, so the first couple builds of the month I edited, and I vaguely knew Selena, which I think is also actually Hamster. Isn't that also how you ended up getting hired? Was
Yes, Selena was hanging out at the bar that my friend and me and Chris' mutual friend worked at, and it's, they're just chatting. What's going on? Oh, I work at this company. It's really cool. We need some painters. And luckily, I talked to him about, my dork painting growing up. So he sent me a text, and they said, "Can you send us your portfolio?" So I cut and muted a YouTube video from high school where I was like, "So these are my Space Marines that I've been working on," and I sent that. But yeah, so Selena got recruited you, and
yeah, and then I did the video stuff for Hellscape because she was on vacation during when Hellscape stuff was happening. And then I liked it, so hang on, Toby, we're getting feedback from you.
Really?
oh, can you just
Yeah.
turn down the volume of your speakers, maybe? I think it's just looping.
Oh, my speakers? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it
So
better?
yeah, that's better. As long as you can still hear us, yeah, it's better.
You guys know, so.
That'll do it. Yeah. I am the same red named Chris from Discord. Because I also started the Discord channel and stuff when we started the Twitch channel. That's basically it. Was I wanted to keep working at the company, and I was like, you know, I feel like Twitch would be a good thing for the company, and so we started getting this stuff up. It is funny, Hamster. We've kind of just watched our entire friend group get absorbed by Dwarven Forge over time.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Miles is gonna start.
Going too.
Miles is gonna
Tyler
start
told me
working there
that today.
now. Yeah, Miles is gonna starting on Tuesday, I think.
Tentatively.
And even the guy who got me hired did come in and base coat pieces and Cavern Seed for one day.
It's very, very funny.
Which guy was that?
His name was Kelsey.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Kickflip Wizard.
It wasn't the one that was bad at
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I had like 2 miniatures videos and my name was Magic Flip Master because I was a skateboarder in middle school and I was the best at kick flips out of my friends. So that's what they called me.
All right, let's look for this.
God.
Oh
All
man,
right.
it's a
Sorry, I
magical video. It really takes you on a journey through time, space, and hormonal growth.
You watched him?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 different times because there was a time where you just said the name, and I think me and Selena and Nina were all like, "Well, now you said it, we gotta watch it."
God.
Then there was another time
I am.
because go on.
What was this channel called? Magic
it-
Flip Master. Okay.
yeah.
All one word.
It's like Aaron Miller shreds in.
Oh,
Burnsville.
Aaron's Heart of Burnsville Sesh.
12 years ago, McCraig Ultramarines Tactical Squad.
Oh yeah, the
On this-
McCraig
on this-
set. Any 40k guys remember the McCraig set?
On this episode, man, a series called The Nerd Station. So you've got episode 1. So you've got your first video,
Yeah.
succinctly titled The Nerd Station, McCraig Ultramarines Tactical Squad. Then you've got Nerd Station number 2, Update and Beastman plans.
Yeah.
And then you have Nerd Station, not numbered.
Wait, there's a third? Which one's that?
There's a third, Arctic Beastmen update,
Oh yeah.
and then there's nothing.
I guess I didn't nail down my labeling, my marketing.
There's Duncan.
Yay,
One person I'd like to see
Duncan.
more of is Stefan. Never seen him live. I've been doing things since September. He's not really.
Reply to that one. Stefan's remote completely now. He moved to Seattle, but he'll be on every now and again. I think we've had him on 2, 4 times, maybe even 3 if you want to take the mean of it. But he has his own streams and everything too.
2, 4, even 3 times.
It's like, yeah, if you want to get wild. Duncan.
Yeah, he's not actually really involved in the day-to-day though. Hi, look at you.
Oh.
I miss him so much.
I know, once it's a little bit safer for more people to be in the office, I'll bring him in again. But
Man. I want you to bring him back into the office. So bad. It's been so long.
Look at him.
He's like
Also,
he's like a perfect cat, man. He's like a perfect
Yes.
cat.
it's one of the few that I like. I like maybe 4 or 5 cats.
He's super chill the entire time.
Not to
Recently,
continue
he
to
just
be a
said-
negative Nancy, but I'd have to go to the bathroom again.
That's so negative.
I cannot
I know.
believe
Well, I was gonna say
you
we're
would have
getting
another
close
bowel
to
movement.
the end of it, so should I just wait till the end of it, or
Oh, what's up? Oh God, sorry.
3:30.
that's
Hey,
I
man.
didn't
okay.
notice.
If, like we
I've
can
just
go
been
long
enjoying
too.
talk.
Just tell me if I should go now and then come back, or tell me if it like I could wait.
I suppose we could wrap.
What if we tell her to go now because we're gonna keep going and then we just hang up after she after she leaves?
Yeah,
Seems
how
like a very
dare you have
cuddly
human needs?
Yeah, Duncan is incredibly cuddly.
No.
Like he's one of the most laid back cats I've ever seen, and he just likes to be touched.
yeah, recently he just suddenly became a lap cat, which is another plus.
Like I
love that.
genuinely, you got him like a little bit before the Kickstarter, and so you would have him in the office all day because you didn't want to like leave him alone, and part of my day during the Kickstarter would be, okay, I've been going since like 7 in the morning. I'm gonna go lay on the beanbag that is close to where he's his like zone is, and as soon as I got on the beanbag, he would like jump up there and like sleep on my chest, and it was like the best part of the day.
Oh, I remember that. I would just look over. You guys are napping.
Yeah, he's a very good cat. Oh my god, he's so cute.
All right. Well, hey, tomorrow is the live play game where you'll see these miniatures featured.
Yeah.
What's the deal? What do we got going on?
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock is the culmination of everything we've been doing this month. We're gonna have 3 players that were randomly selected from you guys that watch these streams. They're gonna be playing on 10 rooms, or I think, yeah, like 10 builds that were pulled from submissions that you guys sent in. Fighting on a boss room that Toby and Tyler built together with your guys' input. And also, you guys are going to be able to impact things that happen during the game. We are going to have a little flowchart for you that'll be posted when the stream starts at 6 Eastern, and it'll have a walkthrough of what each room is going to be, so that you can know ahead of time and like prepare, like, okay, this is the stuff that I want to suggest when it gets there. There'll be ways for you to spend channel points. There'll be polls for you to vote in. There'll be ways to submit responses for things. It's going to be wild. It's going to be very, very good, though. Yeah.
Sounding good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Duncan, thank you for joining us. All of you in the chat, thank you for joining us. Oh my gosh, look at him. That's amazing.
He's adorable.
Well, yeah. What time's the game tomorrow again? Also, I need to know when to get this miniature into the office by.
6 o'clock Eastern.
Okay, great.
I'm going to be there all day setting up, so whenever you want to come in, just so we can make sure that everything is on the up and up. Like I said, I don't think we need to paint any monsters or NPCs. I'm pretty sure we have them all already, but I'll be there early in the morning, making sure that we've got everything. And we might want to do some touch-ups on these. I'm not sure. We'll see how it all looks.
We will.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. See you tomorrow for the game.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.